We are talking about transformations of quadratic functions, and we want to write the equation of a quadratic function in vertex form given the vertex and a point. So here we are, write the quadratic function in vertex form for the vertex here. So in that case, we're talking about -2, 5 is hk. So that's going to be our vertex, hk, and passes through the point -4, 7. And this is just going to be a point on the parabola. So in order for this to work, we have to have our equation in vertex form. So our equation is going to be y equals sum a times x minus h quantity squared plus k. So we have our k value, we have our h value, and we have our a value. So we can substitute in all the values that we know. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 variables. We have y, a, x, h, and k, and we have 4 given. We're given the vertex, which is the h and the k, and we're given the x and the y, so we can substitute those values in. So when we substitute those values in, y is 7, x is -4, we don't know what the a value is, so the a value is going to stay a. We know that the h value is -2. Make sure we keep our negative sign there. And our k value is 5. So we can do some work to combine like terms and figure this out, and we should be able to solve to figure out what a is. So we can bring down our 7, and we can bring down our a, and then inside the parentheses we can work this out. A negative times a negative, or negative minus a negative, becomes positive, so it becomes a positive 2. -4 plus 2 is -2 plus 5. So -2 squared is 4, so we get 7 equals 4a plus 5, and then we can solve from there, and we subtract 5 from both sides, and then we get 2 is equal to 4a, and divide by 4, and then we get a is equal to 1/2. So when we go to rewrite our formula, we have the same formula that we wrote before. Y equals some quantity a times x minus quantity squared plus k. So we have an a value, we have an h value, and we have a k value. So we should have been able to rewrite what we've had before. So the y and the x are going to remain variables. We just calculated the a value as 1/2. We knew from before that our h was -2, so negative, substitute that in, and that becomes a positive 2. And our k value was a positive 5. So there's our new equation. Then we have another example. It says, write the quadratic function in vertex form for the vertex of 2, -2. So we have our k and our h. And then that passes through the point 4, 6. That's our xy, and we're still looking for our a value. So we still have to use our equation. Y equals some a value times x minus h quantity squared plus k. So we still have our a value, we still have our h value, and we still have our k value. So those are the values that we can substitute in. We know that our y is 6 and our x is 4. We do not know what our a value is. So a becomes variable or stays variable. And then we're going to subtract 2. And we're also going to subtract 2 from the k. So -2 substituted in for k becomes -2. And 2 substituted in for h, the negative remains, and then we're just left with 2. So we can go through and solve for this. We get 6 equals a times 2 squared minus 2. 6 equals 4a minus 2. So we can plus or add 2 to both sides. And then we get 8 is equal to 4a, and divide by 4. So then we get a is equal to, and we can substitute those values in. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And we can substitute those values in. The y and x are going to remain variables. Still going to have the squared. And the a that we calculated was 2. We knew that the h was 2, so we're going to substitute in a 2. And then the k was -2, so we're going to substitute in a -2 there. And that ends up being our equation.